So we're going to have another go at sound switching, but this time we're going to use 4 sound words. I've chosen to use consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant words. Obviously, you choose words of a pattern that a child has been taught. You wouldn't ask them to do this if they're still on the 3 sound CVC words. But here we're also going to use nonsense words. Often when children get used to doing 4, 5, or even 6 sounds words, they'll switch from doing sound swap with real words to doing it with what we call alien words. It's something that's used in the phonics screening test, and of course they're very useful because there's no other context. They have to listen for the sounds and look for the letters because there's no pictures. They won't have come across these words before, so they've really got to rely on their skills. And again, as I mentioned last time, they're going to practice their blending, their segmenting, and their sound switching skills. So build the first word. So I've got an alien word here, so it's not going to make sense, but let's read it together. Get them if you can. The more they can handle the material, do the pointing, do the moving of sounds, the better. So you just get them to go up, blup. Okay, I want to change blup to blum. What do we need to change? Hopefully they'll recognise that that needs to come out and that needs to go in. And every time you get them to say the sounds and listen for the words. So blum. Is that what we wanted? It was. Now I want to change blum to blim. Blum to blim. Hopefully they'd recognise that they need to change that. If they don't, it's a vowel. You can stretch it out so you can make sure they can hear the sound that needs to be changed. Again, they'd say every sound and be listening for the word Now, blim, sorry. Now I want to change blim to blam. Blim to blam. Hopefully they'd recognise they need to change the I for the A. Once again, say the sounds, listen for the word blam. Now I want to change blam to bam. And obviously we're removing a sound there, so you want to change blam to bam. Hopefully they'll recognise that's the sound that isn't there. Take it out, move those together. Say the sounds, check that they did get bam, which is what they wanted. So bam. Okay, now I want to change bam to bram. Bam to bram. Again, if they need help, you give it, but you get them to change it by adding in a sound this time, the r. Let's again say the sounds, listen for the word bram. Brilliant. Now I want to change bram to brap. Bram to brap. Hopefully they'd recognise it's that last sound that needs to change. Move that down. Again, say the sounds. Brap. Brilliant. Great game, as I say, for practising their blending and segmenting, because every time they're doing it, don't worry if they miss a step or they suddenly look a bit blank. Just help them. You know, if you do, I think that was 7 changes there. Well, actually, if they stumble on 1 or 2, that's fine. What that tells you is they just need to practice that game a bit more. But always, you're going to be only using the sound spelling correspondences that I've told you, that they've learned, that you've taught them, and also only using words of structures that they know. So obviously they will know CVC words. Usually we then go on to teach them CVCC words because they often find the double consonants at the end of a word easier. Here I was using CCVC words. You wouldn't do that till they'd had practice, sounding some words and reading some words that had that structure. And of course you can do this incorporating some of the 2-letter 1 sounds, but I'll show you how to do that in the next video.